Okay.
An early ban. Interesting. So I imagine Casey's going to go for an early rel. Would be my instincts from this.
But we get the first
the
hit
Jace.
on the Jace. This has been a first half ban from KC both times so far. They did not want to give it over to HLE, but this time around, it's time for some ZEUS Jace.
I don't remember what skins they chose, but I want to say that ZEUS he either already has one or he's getting one.
I'm really bad at this skin
I'm
lore.
also really bad at it
I'm really
too.
bad at it, so I'm just gonna, whatever you say, I will blindly trust as fact.
Do not do that.
You could say anything and I would believe it right now.
There's too many T1 skins that I've honestly lost track. The Sejuani going to be locked in on the side of KC.
Okay.
Are they going to go for the early round like I predicted? The Brawn Ban suggests that to me because like Targamas, oh my goodness.
Wow, they slam the Draven.
Okay, so I mean, this shouldn't come as a surprise, but most professional AD carries were Draven one tricks at one point. Kalist is no different.
Okay.
Yeah, he is a massive fan of the champion. Domestically, he and Hansama would often trade the pick. So to pick it here with confidence, I like it. But again, it leaves the rel open, and with the Brawn ban, I'm surprised that they didn't put a higher priority on it because Alistair is gone, Leona is gone. So I'm curious as to what their response is going to be. Maybe they've thought of a range support, something like the Seraphine, but I don't know how much of a good matchup that is necessarily into the rel.
Well, let's see what HLE want to go for here. I would expect some kind of an AD carry since that pool is already so pinched, like you're talking about. Get Viper on something that he'll feel comfortable into this matchup with. And okay, it's Kai'Sa, bottom lane for Viper and Delight.
I mean, already you can see KC easily getting themselves a winning bot lane 2 versus 2 with this setup. The question is, do they even want to lock in support? Maybe they want to get top laner. With a lot of top laners available without that pool being pinched, there's an opportunity. Maybe they want to grab something like an early Camille. Sejuani Camille could be really strong on the top side of the map. But maybe they're hesitant to lock it in early.
Choices.
Oh,
Sion.
tank. Okay.
Okay, just gonna try to tank it out against the Jace. Obviously, Jace is going to win early in a ton of matchups top lane. They're just gonna say, okay, fine, shake your hand on that one. We're gonna go down in CS.
At a certain point, I think it definitely swings in the Sion.
I mean, hey, if they're willing to slam Draven, they're probably willing to slam Pyke next to it. All right. I can respect that, as unorthodox as it may be.
I like the Nautilus ban a lot from HLE. I think it makes so much sense. But now what do you even go if you're KC? The support pick has to be what you lock in here. Question is, what is it? Is it something like the Seraphine? Smiles, confident on the face of Targamas. I like what he's thinking. I just want to know what it is.
Reveal. What's it gonna be? Rakan.
Okay, a little more timid than I was expecting. When I think of bot lane powerhouses, Draven Rakan is not exactly what springs to mind, but Draven as a champion gives you a lot of agency in the bot lane 2 versus 2. You can afford to pick a slightly weaker support, more so for the team. It's just great follow-up, and it allows you easy pick potential when paired up alongside the Sejuani and the Sion, who already acts as a very effective front line.
So let's see what else we get out of HLE here. I still need to see a jungler. Okay, we're gonna get the Wukong here. This can be very, very strong against immobile carries, especially short-range ones. And there is the Vlad for HLE.
Now I'm assuming this Vladimir is going to top lane. As an answer into the Sion, you get so much free scaling as the Vladimir into the tank because it's very difficult for the Sion to punish you. Now, unless Vladdy has been practicing his Sion mid, and we're about to get something crazy from Kana, which I'm down for. But it looks like it's going to be Rise in the mid lane going up against the Jace. Now, domestically, we've seen a few Rises in the LEC. A lot of them have not worked out. Okay. Admittedly, that was because Caps brought out things like Anivia into it. And,
already talked about, like, Rakan's ability to weave in and out of the fights makes him slippery to kill. So I'm curious, can KC pull off the miracle, or will HLE continue their undefeated series streak here on day 4? It's game number 3. HLE playing out of the blue side. It's exactly like you said, Vedius. Zeka will be the Jace pilot here in the mid lane, up against Vladdy's Rise. It'll be ZEUS on the Vlad versus Kana on the Sion. Both of them just looking to stack up and scale here in top lane.
It's like it. ZEUS has been so monstrous throughout this series. Even if they didn't win in the previous game, like, it's so difficult to avoid his constant impact. And on this Vladimir, he's going to be looking to do the same thing. He had a strong performance against CFO. He's looking I imagine, to get a ward in. That's going to be Zeka's responsibility. Ooh. Ooh. That was a close one.
You could see he walked up right outside the range of where the Decimate would be, even giving it the extra, just like slight bit of distance beyond.
But on the other, I feel like that what they've recognized is that trying to...
Wow, bottom lane, 2v2, immediate scrap as Delight is knocked up into the air. Targamas there with a grand entrance. Flash out from Delight. KC unafraid.
I mean, they do get the cleanse out from Kalist, but getting the flash and the ignite out from Delight and getting a really good spot. Keep your eyes on the junglers right now, because I wouldn't be surprised to see either of them make a beeline towards the bot lane. Delight gonna look to get the quick remount. Is this... I don't think Delight is low enough to threaten to dive. He has that shield.
Yep, just Hex Flash down there, trying to get a little bit of extra EXP. Couple more minions.
Look at Sejuani right now. Look at Yike. He's making a beeline towards the bot lane. And they know exactly where the Wukong is as well.
Yike might step up, try to challenge for these chickens. No, instead he's gonna look mid, because Vladdy's down to 100 HP. Zeka gonna have to try to get away from this one. Turns back towards Vladdy, knocks Yike away. Zeka needs a little bit more damage, but it's not gonna happen. It's first blood to KC.
They need to push out this way camps, and there's nothing that Yike can really do about it.
I mean, he'll walk up, he'll see that Wukong is getting most of them, and then easy for Peanut to just jump back over the wall there with the clone. Kalist and Targamas, they're ready to scrap again with the HLE bottom lane. Viper with some quick feet, getting away from that one. Crash down from Delight on Kalist as Targamas continues taking shots there from Viper. HLE doing a good job getting away from the engage there. Viper, if he would have got caught out by that grand entrance, could have been in some serious danger.
Those deep wards are so important as well as Delight. Remount.
Oh, Targamas with the flash engage with the grand entrance. Delight stunning up Kalist, wants to keep him away. HLE comes out on top, giving the 2v2. Delight wants more, but Yike is first to join the fight. He wants to see if he can get this potential kill into Viper. Flash in, and Yike gets it done. Now Peanut shows up. He wants to kill off the enemy jungler, but it's not gonna happen. Yike can't get the extra kill onto Delight, and now Peanut looks for more. He uses the W forward, but it's flash for flash as Kalist barely survives.
KC are just over.
HLE 6.5 minutes into the game, going after the first Drake now for themselves. Remember that in the previous game, it was HLE getting all the neutral objectives early on. This time around, same story isn't getting told, as now ZEUS and Vladdy will be facing off in the bot lane matchup.
I think Vladdy likes this matchup a lot more. Vladimir definitely cannot fight you as much as the Jace can. The cross map is going to come through as HANWHA Life secure themselves the first 3 grubs. I think it would be a little too dangerous to contest this given the push happening on the top side of the map. But hey, Kalist does have Prio in the mid lane as well. If they could maybe steal one, it would be worth it, but well, actually, they have enough time here. Spotted up by Targamas. So, okay, they're going to say, you know what, we're happy with the dragon. That's all good.
Yep. Maybe try to throw a cheeky projectile over the wall, but they don't even have one that has enough range. Gleaming Quill is pretty short. Viper not getting all the way out of the Decimate, kind of knowing the ranges on that one to be able to tag him even if you don't get the knock up. Rejoin his AD carry up here. Nice use of the Shattering Strike. Crashes right back down on top of him. Quick and easy trade for the HLE duo. As now the ulti attempt from Kana finds a whole lot of nothing. Nice footwork there from HLE to avoid the engage attempt from KC. They were sending a lot of bodies up here for that.
Actually making the other game because Peanut, his pathing and what he's doing is still very smart. He just stole away the red buff because he knew that Yike was just overstaying on the top side of the map. Meanwhile, Zeka's getting a lot of farm isolated in the mid lane. And now I think they've caught out Kalist completely isolated. There's nowhere for him to go.
There it is. Peanut and Delight working together. Plenty of damage, and Viper will show up to claim the feat of warfare, claim the kill, and critically, that's a kill on Kalist before he ever got any cash-ins. So he loses so many of the stacks. Speaking of early game, we are just about past that point for Mr. ZEUS here on the Vladimir. Level 8 and about almost halfway there to level 9 once the transfusion cooldown is maxed. It's pretty impossible to die unless your opponents are going to spend a lot of resources guaranteeing it. KC right now going to spend resources moving into the enemy jungle as Zeka gets discovered. Realm Warp ready to bring in some firepower from Vladdy. Zeka caught unawares out of position trying to get away. Cannot do it. KC beautifully done to catch Zeka off guard.
Really good use of deep vision on the top side of the map, though.
Let's focus up as the supportal combat starts off in the bottom part of the topside river. Delight and Targamas just trading meaningless blows with one another as Peanut and Zeka have control over the grub pit itself. Working on the second grub over the wall. Nicely done from Yike. The immediate drive-by for the smite on grub number 2. Yes, it's only going to be that single grub that they get, but at least it will stop HLE from hitting the huge all 6 points.
They don't take
that much, as KC is going to start up the Dragon for themselves in this bottom side. Zeka putting a ton of damage into the top lane tier 1 turret, but not enough to fully kill the thing before Vladdy arrives back.
Yeah, the thing is, because of the steal had come through, and the call from Yike was that, oh!
Peanut jumping in on Kalist. He wanted to play aggro. He wanted to go after Viper, and HLE knew it. Peanut ready with a punish.
Job of escorting Viper through what was a rough laning phase and really setting him up to be the carry of this game.
Second BF sword purchase for Kalist, but also critically, no boots even of the tier 1 persuasion for the Draven. If he gets caught out, he's in some serious danger. Sejuani ulti whiffs, Viper with a flash away from any potential follow-up. A lot of damage over to ZEUS, he might just die. He manages to turn into a puddle in time, as Kana's gonna be your next target now. Peanut jumping in for the multi-man knockup. Kana's gonna drop, but now you gotta wonder, what can they do with a dead body? He zones Viper away, the Herald gets summoned up, but it doesn't even get to do anything. ZEUS critically not dying there, as now Peanut wraps around from another flank. Delight and Zeka looking to chase the rest of KC away. Targamas will be your next target. ZEUS coming back in now as well. The enchanted blast cone. If that's a regular cone, he doesn't get back over the wall. It's the difference between life and death for Targamas.
What was crazy about that play was, oh, Kalist, good damage.
Oh, the flash engage coming out from Yike, but Viper still had the killer instinct to get away. Does HLE get punished from this though? Everybody else gets away in time. It looked like Kalist and Yike not quite on the same page. Kalist backing up as Yike flashes in.
What was crazy about that play was just before ZEUS dies, he gets in the Herald. He then uses it to knock up a bunch of the KC members, but we got to get back into the action as the Dragon is being started off.
All right, Dragon's up. Everybody's alive back on the map again. ZEUS flying over the wall, here with the blast cone. KC got to be careful. Vladdy jumps in, but he jumps right in on top of Peanut. Now ZEUS hitting them with the tides of blood. Flash over the wall from Vladdy. Viper and Delight trying to reorganize their positioning here a little bit further. KC trying to make their entry as a 4-man squad. In goes Kana, but he goes too far. Chemtech Drake over to Peanut. ZEUS on top of Kalist. He needs a transfusion and he's hounded. Targamas gonna be your next target. Yike picks up Viper, but that's all they'll get. 3 for 1 plus Dragon over to HLE.
The coordination is all over the place for KC as they desperately try to contest. KC would ideally love to play this front to back. I think they need to move away from constantly trying to catch Viper out and instead just focus on killing the target that's in front of them.
Delight wanted to clear away that control ward. Targamas keeps him away from it, as he does have backup nearby for the punish if HLE overstayed. Viper also getting closer and closer, that second item fully completed. Remember that for Kai'Sa, these item completions are huge, not just for the general reason that it's more power, but the extra evolutions on the abilities as well. The gold difference powered by AWS. You can see this here on your screen, just the blue staircase climbing up. Normally the color associated with KC, but working against them here in this one, trying to hold on and stop this from going any further away. I feel like they could still maybe find a good fight. Getting this potential pick on the Peanut here could be the start of that. Nice flash away from the Arctic Assault, trying to use the second half of the Cyclone to get away. Peanut still in a ton of danger. Nice use of the ulti there from Kana. Peanut still alive somehow, but now the counter kills will come out from KC to HLE. It's another one picked up. It's 1 for 1 as HLE trying to get a little bit more. They won't find anything here just yet.
Vladdy's Realm Warp got interrupted by the Atakan, meaning that KC had to commit.
Zeka goes in. He wants Kalist. He tries to get away there. A little bit more damage will do it. And Zeka with the solo kill sits him down.
Beautiful commitment from Zeka. Kalist now goes to 0 and 4 on the Draven. The game is quickly falling out of control. And KC, are they getting collapsed on?
There's so many pings here. Okay. Oh, waters.
Yep.
But luckily for KC, they escape. They do have a ward on the Otacon. They know that HLE is starting this up. It's not a super fast take. It's just a 2-man. Viper and ZEUS TP coming in now from HLE. The Otacon is not going to drop before the contest arrives. Yike is here. KC is here. Delight over the wall in the Dragon Pit. Zeka here on the front line, got to be careful about that. The Otacon taking low, down about 2,000 HP. Target's going in with a two-man knockout, nicely done there. But into the back line goes Viper. They've already found another kill, as well as the Otacon for HLE. Now Vladi's gonna die too. It's an absolute slaughterhouse, and it's KC falling to the floor. Triple kill for Zeka's Jace.
The smite doesn't come through from Yike. Kalist is nowhere near the fight, and Zeka is just demolishing KC in the pits of Otacon. HANWHA Life are decimating KC in this third game. They're going to take another tower, and this game feels insurmountable for KC.
Such an annoying scenario, knowing that you just won that last game, trying to find these engage opportunities, and HLE just playing like monsters, man. ZEUS now maybe in some trouble. 1v3. Vlad's pretty tough, but I don't know if he's that tough. Nice shutdown for KC. Vladdy getting his first kill of the game with a response from HLE, starting up the Baron on the other side of the map. They're 7,000 gold ahead, but they're one man down. Yike's making his way towards the pit. Baron down to 5,000. Yike throws out the Glacial Prison. Delight's job, mark that enemy jungler, keep him away, stop any sort of a steal. HLE will trade ZEUS for the Baron.
And I think that's a worthwhile trade. They'll extend the goal lead even further. HLE now maybe looking for a fight. Targamas is forced to disengage. The tower, at the very least, is going to go the way of KC. Vladdy, level 16 on the rise. That Rod of Ages coming in handy. But at the end of the day...
At the end of the day, Yike might see the end of his day here real soon. Luckily, has teammates nearby, Kalist and Targamas, ready to protect their jungler as KC scramble to defend their own jungle. HLE, with the confidence and power of that Red Bull Baron buff, willing to step into enemy
It ends up being picked up by Vladdy. He's very close to that Rabadon's death cap. Would be a nice hide and spike for him to grab.
Targamas looking to threaten Zeka there, maybe just make him sweat a little bit, but no, Zeka calm, cool, and collected on that one. TP from ZEUS to join up with the rest of HLE here on the top side, putting pressure onto the tier 2 turret. Cannon minion ready to keep on free firing into that one. Voidseeker is going to interrupt the potential recall of Vladdy as Zeka keeps the pressure on a second tier 2 turret. This one over in mid lane. Remember, the tier 2 in bottom is already gone. 4-1 in the turret count, favoring HLE.
HLE have such a massive level advantage as well. Another tower will fall.
Yikes, sliding forward there with the Arctic Assault. Gonna lose the glacial armor. And now HLE continuing their pressure, continuing their push. They want to try to go in, but they only find the CC on the ZEUS and Delights into the back line. One to hard force the fight. Viper's ready to follow. Two already down on KC, and Vladdy's about to join them 6 feet deep. Another kill almost comes through. Yike barely walks away as they at least get a shutdown onto Zeka. Peanut and ZEUS chasing after the remaining members of KC as HLE will leave Viper in the enemy base to destroy the inhibitor. Kana trying to rough up the minion wave so that Viper can't just walk in and keep trying to end the game. There's not quite enough time for that, but the base of KC is nearly 10,000 gold lead. It's all of the map that belongs to HLE. And again, what we were talking about, the damage on the composition that HLE has drafted, everyone that's not Rel is a damage threat. And Rel is ready to set it up for everyone else. Kana forced to flash away there as Delight made the engage. Just so much pressure from HLE.
Vladdy able to clear out that wave, but look at the bot side.
Peanut jumping in on Kalist. Killer Instinct follows it. Draven's dead before you can blink your eyes. Targum is about to follow as Yike's your next target. The Sejuani trying to slide away, but Peanut takes him down. HLE have already killed off 2, and they're looking for even more. Delight finally gets traded back, but Vladdy's Seraph's Embrace is the only thing keeping him alive. The Realm Warp doesn't matter. He dies to the Hemo Plague. Targamas survives with 100 health. Peanut still chasing after him, getting juggled around a little bit, but it doesn't matter. HLE is on to the Nexus itself. It was a valiant battle from KC. They proved that HLE are indeed mortal, but they are some damn tough League of Legends players, man. HLE, despite the fact that they may have gone the distance, will do it in style and take down